Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about Git. We're specifically talking about Rebase. I'm going to explain what a rebase is and show you the command that I usually use for rebasing. Some refer to it as the Git chainsaw, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But yeah, let's talk about branch structure and what a rebase does. So let's first draw out, yes, we've gotten out MS Paint again. I'm going to draw out a commit history. We're going to pretend in this case that the mainline commit history is linear. Let's say this is the main branch. And our little brush here. Let's say there's some number of commits. Actually, you probably use circles for commits. Yeah, that'll be nicer. There we go. We've got some circles for commits here. And actually, let's delete the bottom of this and scoot everything down so that I can demo this a little bit easier. Okay, so we've got our main branch. Oops. Wanted to move you. There we go. We got our main branch here. Let's say that, when we created our feature branch, we branched it off at this point in time. Let's say this was the latest commit at that particular time, and we made our feature branch. And so we went off to some feature branch. We made some commit there. And then we made, I don't know, maybe another commit here. And, at this point, our branches now diverge in their histories. They have forked. And let's call this our feature branch here. Feature. Now note I didn't mention it, but time is increasing as you go up on the screen. Sometimes it's represented right to left. I like to do it bottom to top, but you could also do it top to bottom. But yeah, time is going up, or at least the forward history goes up in this case. And so what a rebase does is it takes these commits here and it will replay them on the latest version of this here. And so what that kind of looks like is, breaking brush, I guess. Breaking this commit here, so breaking that there, and then taking these two commits and replaying them here. Oh, we should use transparent, yeah. And then replaying them here. Now note that this doesn't actually delete these commits over here, so these commits still exist. However, the branch no longer refers to them. And because these commits have a different parent now, they must have a different commit ID. So these will actually get a different, we'll represent that as a new color here. So we might have gone from, dead beef here to, cafe or something. They contain the same patch, but they have been replayed on top of this top of this master or main or whatever you want to call it. And so they are rebased on top of that. You changed the base for the commit. And this is the rebase process. So the process of doing, this change here, that should be a different color, is what rebasing is. And so for this, I'm actually going to demo you a rebase. You can also do a lot of other things with rebasing, like you can change commits after the fact. You can squash commits together, which is what I'm going to be doing today. You can reorder commits if you want to. You can, cherry pick in other stuff at the same time. But I'm going to show you a rebase today. And we are actually going to take a pull request from GitHub. Pre-commit hooks, and this was a pull request submitted by an external contributor, and I'm going to rebase their branch to make the commit history a little bit nicer, which is what I usually do for or why I use rebase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone my repository, git at github.com pre-commit hooks. This is the base repository. This is what we're going to be rebasing onto. And we're going to git remote add. We are going to add their remote. They use the branch master. That's annoying. Oops. Git remote add this. Git at github.com. There's a new line there. / pre-commit hooks. So I'm going to add their remote. That way I can pull in their code. I do git fetch their name. Oh, I did the... Let's recopy this so that I can actually do it on one line now. So this should pull in their branch here. I'm actually going to check out their branch so that we can rebase it. Git checkout their name / master -b this _ master. I actually went over this technique in another video. I can't just check it out as master because it conflicts with my branch's master. And we're going to be changing their commits here. Oh, another thing that I should mention, Rebase is a destructive operation. So you are literally rewriting history. So sometimes you can make mistakes that cause you to lose commits. So I would recommend enabling ref logs and looking at those in case something goes wrong, and that can help you recover in a situation where you've accidentally rebased away your hard work. Okay, but now that we have checked out their branch, git branch -u origin master. So this says that they are 6 commits ahead, and at the end of the day, I kind of want this to be one nice commit that sits on top of my master branch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run git rebase -i origin /master. This is my default branch, and -i means interactive. So we're going to do an interactive rebase. And this is the chainsaw command, and this is because it does a whole bunch of things, and if you do it wrong, it's really easy to lose work or ruin your repository in a way that you don't want to. But as long as you follow the basics, make sure you know what you're doing, and worst case, look at get reflog in case you mess stuff up, and this will allow you to bring yourself back to a state before you broke things. But we're gonna run this command, and the first thing that it does is it opens up a text editor and shows all of the commits that were made on or that need to be replayed. In this case, you can see there are those same 6 commits that happened before, and by default it uses the word pick here. There are a bunch of different commands. The ones that I mostly use are pick, squash, and fixup. I guess I also use edit. So I use these ones most often. Well, I should probably use reword. That one's... I do this manually by doing edit and then amend, but reword is kind of nice for that. Okay, so what pick does is it'll take the commit and just recommit it as is. So if I just do nothing here, so if I just exit my text editor, you'll see that it has rebased these now, and it has recommitted each of these things here. Now, in this case, since it was a no-op, Git is kind of smart, so it skips the no-op commits, and so these are actually still the same commit as before. If I were to change these from pick to something else, it would perform some sort of action there. So let's say that we want to edit this particular commit here. So I'm going to change the word pick to edit, and we're going to exit the editor now. And it's going to run all of those commits until it gets to that point, and you'll see it says it stopped here at this particular thing. You can change the commit here. So we did git show, this is what that commit was. It added some white space and a trailing comma. Oh, this is a pre-commit CI commit. Cool. Nice. So if I wanted to make a change here, I could change stuff directly, then recommit, and then once I'm happy with this commit, once I'm done editing, I will do git rebase continue, and this will cause it to replay the rest of the commits there. And it still noticed that it was a no-op, so it didn't actually recommit anything. So that's edit. Let's rebase -i again. Oops. Rebase -i. There we go. The next thing is squash. What squash will do is it will meld 2 commits together. So let's say we wanted to make it look like this person did not need pre-commit CI to fix their stuff for them, and they had just written the code that made the linters happy in the first place. So we're going to change this to squash. Note again that you just need prefixes here, so I don't actually have to write out the word squash. I can just do S. And if we save this now, you'll see that it is prompting me to squash those 2 commits together. It's given me both of the commit messages. We actually don't care about this second commit message here, and I'm going to show you a shortcut to this in a second. So if we do that, you'll see that it has now taken those 2 commits and melded them together. So this last commit was originally 2 commits, and now it's only 1. The other thing that'll happen here, let's say that instead of doing squash, we did fixup. Fixup is like squash, except it just discards this commit message here. So you'll get this original commit, but it will meld these 2 commits together. So these 2 will become just 1. So if we do fixup now, you can see that it has melded those 2 things together. So this was part of the line fixup here. And this is actually now 3 commits together. let's go back to here as well. The other thing that you can do is you can reorder commits. So if you take one of these and put it, below the other one, it will change the order that these commits happen in. So this way you can cause things to happen in a certain order in your history. I use this occasionally, but not all that often. Almost all of the things that I do are either, fix up or deleting commits. Oh, speaking of deleting commits, you can also just delete a commit here, and that will remove it from the rebase queue that happens here. Also, if you want to cancel a rebase or an interactive rebase once it is open in the editor, you can just delete every line in the file, and that will cause it to error out and skip doing a rebase there. But let's finish what I wanted to do here. Get rebase-i origin master. So what I actually want to do is change all of these picks to fix-ups, because I just want this to all be one commit at once, and that way it's just one nice sitting commit on top of master. And so you can see now I've collected their entire patch into just this one commit here. And if we push that up to their remote head master, you'll note that because I rewrote the history here, this is actually going to error and say that, this is not a fast forward, and that's because we rewrote the history of this branch. So you'll need to force push if you do a rebase that modifies history. So we'll do this now, and that should update their branch to look like how I wanted it to look. But anyway, that's Rebase. Hopefully this, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I think this diagram is probably the most important bit of understanding what Rebase is, and getting good at that get rebase-i command. But anyway, hopefully this was helpful. If you have additional things you want me to explain, leave a comment below or reach out to me on the various platforms. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.